Introduction: Shattering Preconceptions. When one mentions the word construction, the image that often comes to mind is one of hardship, of the clamor of machinery, and of sweat rolling down sun-darkened faces. This is an undeniable reality, a part of the larger picture. But if we stop there, we miss a world brimming with color, a symphony of emotions, and a profound, subtle source of joy that quietly exists every day in construction sites everywhere. Construction, at its core, is not merely a job of muscle and concrete. It is a creative journey, a song of collaboration, and a testament to the human aspiration to reach higher. This essay will be a voyage into that world, to discover and celebrate the simple yet incredibly powerful joys. Joys built from the very bricks, steel beams, and parts of the building. The joy in construction is not an easily visible emotion. It does not live like glass and finished skyscrapers, nor is it concrete marks. It is a spiritual resonance between people, materials, and space. It is present in sparks of in the knowing nod of the engineer who has solved a difficult structural problem, and in the hearty laughter of workers as the voice of the place together. It is the joy of formation, transformation, witnessing an intangible idea gradually take on a tangible form, standing majestically against the sky. Let us, set aside preconceptions of a dry and arduous profession. Let us listen closely to the symphony of the construction site. Because there, amidst the scene, strong and enduring as the very structures they build. Chapter 1: The Joy of Creation from Idea to Form. The most primal and perhaps most intense joy in the construction industry is the joy of creation. It is a miraculous process that transforms thoughts and dreams from the mind into a physical entity that can be touched, used, and can endure for generations. This process does not belong exclusively to the architect or the engineer. It permeates through every individual involved in the project. 1.1. The first spark, dream or goal. Every great structure begins with an idea, a spark in someone's mind. It could be a warm home where their children will grow up. It could be an entrepreneur's vision of a modern office building, a symbol of success. Or it could be an entire community's aspiration for a bridge to connect two shores, erasing separation. The joy begins right here, from the very first sketches on a blank sheet of paper. The architect, with a pencil in hand, is not just drawing lines and curves. They are designing living spaces, shaping emotions. Where should this window be placed to catch the most morning sunlight? Is this hallway wide enough to feel welcoming? Is that communal courtyard green enough for children to play and elderly to rest? These are questions filled with a deep consideration of human beings. Their joy is that of a storyteller, using space and material to tell a story of life, comfort, and beauty. The technical drawings, with their thousands of complex details, may look dry to an outsider, but to those in the industry, they are a treasure map, a promise of a great adventure about to begin. Every number, every symbol is a detailed guide for the grand journey ahead. The structural engineer finds joy in the calculations that ensure the stability of that dream. They are like silent guardians, using their knowledge of mathematics and physics to create an invisible skeleton, strong enough to withstand time and nature. Their joy is the peace of mind, confidence in knowing that their creation will stand firm, sheltering the people within. 1.2. Groundbreaking ceremony. So they see it. If the blueprints are the soul, then the groundbreaking ceremony is the moment that soul begins its journey. The moment the first excavator bucket digs into the earth is not just a symbolic act. It is a declaration of the building start. The atmosphere, the first day of the project, is always special. There is excitement, anticipation, and a touch of solemnity. Share firm handshakes and smiles full of trust. For the workers, this is when they officially receive their mission. They look at the empty plot of land. Their weeds might still be growing, and in their minds, they've already visualized their joy is the joy of a new beginning. They know that from their hands, and through collaboration with their teammates, something new and great is about to be born in this very earth. The feeling of being part of the inception, of witnessing the transformation from zero, is an invaluable source of motivation. Day by day, the structure grows in a magical way. The first week, there might only be the foundation finished, but within them, steelworkers are meticulously weaving new bargains, creating a strong root system. They work with intense concentration. Every tie, every correctly placed steel bar is a guarantee for the future. Their joy is that of the foundation. They know that although their work will soon project, but it is they who are raising it to the sky. Every completed floor slab, every erected wall, is a milestone of victory. They can point up and say, "My team did that with me." It is a simple but deeply legitimate goal. Joy is not only found in grand accomplishments, it resides in the small details. The bricklayer finds joy in laying bricks in perfectly straight lines, creating a flat, beautiful wall. The plasterers find satisfaction in applying the final coat of render with their trowel, turning a rough surface into one as smooth as silk. The carpenter is happy when the door frame is opening and closing. Every task, no matter how small, is an act of creation, contributing to the overall beauty of the whole. To witness a structure gradually take shape is a unique experience. It is like watching a time-lapse of evolution. From an empty block, a steel skeleton emerges, then it is clothed in the flesh of concrete and brick, dons a coat of paint, and is fitted with eyes of glass walls. Each stage brings a different kind of joy. It is the joy of conquest, of creation, and of making the impossible possible. Chapter 2, the symphony of the site, the sound and rhythm of labor. To an outsider, a construction site is a cacophony of chaotic and unpleasant noise. But for those who are part of it is a living symphony, with its own rhythm, its own sections, and containing the very soul of labor. To perceive the symphony is also a joy, a deep connection to the work. 2.1. A special orchestra with unique instruments. Imagine the construction site as a grand stage, and every piece of machinery, every worker, is a musician with their own instrument. The percussion section. This is the most vibrant and powerful foundation of the symphony. The sound of hammers driving nails into the sound of piles piled pumps into the earth and being ejected like war drums urging the troops forward. These sounds are not noise. They are the heartbeat of the project, a sign of progress and work being done. The string section, the high-pitched whir of a tile saw or a rebar cutter is sharp and brilliant, soaring like a violin in crescendo. The faint whine of a crane's winch cable as it lifts material skyward is a sound of descent. The brass section, the blast of a truck's horn as it reverses onto the site, the roaring engines of excavators and bulldozers create the deep, rich undertones of music. They are the sounds of power, of logistics, ensuring the nourishment of the project never runs out. Most important is symphony. These are not idle conversations, but a highly effective kind of labor. The loud call of lift, as a concrete block is raised. The shout of watch out, to alert a teammate. Short, concise exchanges between teams. Interspersed with bursts of laughter and cheerful banter during breaks. These sounds breathe life to the site, transforming it from an assembly of inanimate machines into a living, harmoniously functioning body. The joy here is the joy of harmony. Once a person is accustomed to this environment, they can read this symphony. They know that a certain machine's sound means a particular task. They hear a teammate's call and instantly understand. They can feel the urgency and the rhythm of the hammers as break approaches, and the relaxation in the voices and laughter of the welcome. The feeling of being a part of that energy sphere, of contributing one's own note to the collective symphony, is a joy of belonging. 2.2. The rhythm of the worker. The symphony of the construction site changes with the rhythm of the sun, creating fixed movement throughout the day. Movement on. Dawn, allegro fast. The spirit of the new day begins while the sky is still dim. The air is fresh and cold. The first sounds are often the starting of endings, with greetings exchanged among partners. The rhythm is still leisure, but full of energy and preparation. People check their tools, have a quick morning briefing about the day's tasks. There is a sense of focus and determination. Watching live sometimes the symphony reaches its peak. All the sounds blend together, creating an atmosphere of urgent, bustling labor. The hammer blows are faster, the machine roars are louder, the voices are stronger and more decisive. Energy radiates from every corner. This is when progress is most visible. The joy at this time is the joy of giving one's all, of seeing the fruits of one's labor of one's own. Movement 3, the lunch break, andante slow, leisurely the symphony subsides. The machines fall silent, replaced by the gentle hum of conversation and laughter. People gather in temporary patches of shade, sharing a simple but warm lunch. They share a piece of meat, a slice of fruit, and tell amusing stories. This is a time to recharge, both physically and mentally. The joy here is one of connection, of feeling like a large family. Movement 4. The afternoon, rondo return. Persistent the sounds return, but perhaps not as frenetic as in the morning. The rhythm becomes more steady and persistent. Everyone focuses on completing the goals set for the day. There is a quiet perseverance, a silent effort, and the harsh afternoon sun. Movement 5. Sunset, adagio slow, stately as the sun sets. The last machines are turned off. The space becomes surprisingly quiet. Only the sound of footsteps and tools being cleaned and put away remains. People look back at the results of their day's labor. The silhouette of the structure stretches long across the ground. There is a profound satisfaction in this silence. The joy now is the joy of completion, the peace after a day of dedicated work. Understanding and loving this rhythm is a vital part of life on the construction site. It helps one person work to feel that each passing day is meaningful and purposeful, rather than just a tedious. Chapter 3. Camaraderie, the glue that binds the pieces. If creation is the soul and the rhythm of labor is the heartbeat, then camaraderie is the lifeblood that flows through the body of the construction site, nourishing and binding everything together. Construction is never a one-person job. It is the pinnacle of cooperation, and in that process of cooperation, a special bond is born, camaraderie. 3.1. In the same way, on the construction site, everyone, from the supervising engineer to the general laborer, is in the same boat, getting towards the same goal. Complete the project safely, with high quality and on schedule. The mutual dependence is immense. The bricklayer needs the helper to mix mortar to the correct ratio. The installation needs the formwork team to be precise. Everyone needs the crane operator to transport materials safely. This interdependence creates a deep sense of responsibility for one's own work and for one's team. People know that a small mistake on their part can affect someone else's work and delay the entire project. Conversely, when they do their part well, they are helping their teammates who follow. The joy here comes from trust. When you know that the person next to you is also working their hardest, being careful and professional, you feel more secure as you focus on your own task. This trust is priceless. It transforms a group of individual workers into a powerful team. The language of the site. Camaraderie is also expressed through a unique language that requires no vocabulary. It is a language of non-language. A worker on scaffold just has to hold up some things, and the person below knows to send up the switch. The specific whistle can be the signal for everyone to lift a heavy object.
Quer ver uma hora ruim na vida do cara, é isso aí, ó, Paulo.
After a long time of working together,
Eu tô mandando aí no grupo aí pra vocês verem aí, ó.
it demonstrates an incredible synergy.
Uma hora
The answer is
suplica na vida do cara, velho.
furthermore, manipulations and inside jokes that only the initiative can understand. These things create a unique cultural identity for each site. Feel closer and more connected. Point 3. Moments of sharing. Camaraderie is nurtured by the smallest but most sincere moments of sharing. Sharing in the work, when one sees a teammate struggling with a heavy skill, another will not hesitate to lend a hand. It's not their assigned task. When a young, inexperienced worker is struggling, that's the transfer of mutual teaching, passing down great tricks without their thinking. They don't just transfer knowledge, they pass on the flame of passion. This selfless help creates an atmosphere of mutual respect, where everyone feels cared for and valued. Sharing in life. The lunch break is a perfect time to witness this camaraderie. They sit together, one person sharing hot tea, another a cigarette, another a guava from their home garden. They share what little they have. They ask about each other's families and children. The worries and questions of life are a lesson in these heartfelt conversations. The joy here is endless. The knowledge that one is not alone in struggle to make a living, but overcoming hardship together. The construction site is not always smooth sailing. There are days of relentless rain when work is busy. There are days when the sun burns like a furnace. There are unexpected and complex technical problems. It is in these difficulties that camaraderie shines brightest. Everyone works together to find solutions, encourages one another, and shelters each other from the storm. After overcoming a challenge, the joy of victory is multiplied, because it is the victory of the entire team. The joy of camaraderie is a warm, human joy. It transforms the construction site from a mere workplace into a second home. It is the invisible, incredibly strong glue that binds people from different regions, with different backgrounds, into a unified whole. And it is this unified whole that has the strength to erect structures that will stand the test of time. Chapter 4. Overcoming challenges is the joy of conflict. Joy will not be complete without challenges. It is the process of facing and overcoming difficulties that makes the reward all the sweeter. The construction principle, by its very nature, is fraught with challenges, intellectual, physical, and mental. And the joy of conquest is one of the most powerful on the site. 4.1. Intellectual challenges. Solving problems with no ready-made answers. Construction is not just manual labor. It demands logical thinking, problem-solving skills, and constant creativity. Deciphering blueprints, a set of construction problems with elaborate designs, symbols, and numbers. Simply reading, understanding, and visualizing a three-dimensional space from a two-dimensional plan is a challenge in itself. But the greater challenge arises when inconsistencies are discovered.
Why mom doesn't trust you?
A waterfall running through a load bearing. At this point, the engineer, the supervisor, and even the master craftsman must come together, discuss, and find an optimal solution. The moment a clever fix is found, one that ensures technical integrity without compromising the design, brings an immense sense of satisfaction. It is the joy of the intellect, of winning a difficult puzzle. Responding to the unexpected, reality is always different from the drawings. This saying holds true on every site. Perhaps when digging the foundation, they discover an underground spring not shown in the survey, or a specific material is delivered unknown. A sudden storm hits. These situations demand quick thinking and adaptability. Plans must be changed, manpower reallocated, alternative materials. This crisis management process is stressful, but when everything is resolved and the project is back on track, the feeling of relief and pride is indescribable. It is the joy of happening, the spirit of shift through a storm. Innovation in execution. Sometimes, traditional construction methods are not effective for a particularly complex architectural detail. This is when the creativity of the workers shines. They might devise a special type of formula, a new way to process materials, a smarter installation sequence. These small innovations not only solve the problem, but also save time and effort. The joy here is pride in one's experience and skill, the feeling of being not just an executive, but an innovator. 4.2. Physical challenges, limits of endurance. It is undeniable that construction is a physically demanding job. Working outdoors, carrying heavy materials, and standing or moving continuously indoors is a great physical test. However, for many genuine laborers, pushing past the body's limits also brings a unique joy. It is a feeling of being fit and resilient. After a day's work, though tired, they feel the strength of their muscles. Their bodies become tough, accustomed to hardship. The joy here is not about asceticism, but the satisfaction of knowing you have a healthy body, capable of working to support yourself and your family. At the end of the day, after a cleansing shower and sitting down to a meal, the fatigue dissipates, leaving only a sense of relaxation and fulfillment. It is the joy of someone who has completed a day of honest labor with their own strength. It is a very real, very authentic joy. 4.3. Challenges from nature, dialogue with the elements. The construction site is one of the places where humans must directly confront the harshness of nature. The scorching sun, the sun the sight of the extreme steel absorbs heat, concrete working under such conditions is a sustained test of endurance. They have their own ways, wide brim hats, face covering stars, and bottles of cold water past their head. They encourage each other, hang in there, break time is coming. To get through a peak heat day while ensuring safety and progress is a small thing. The sudden rain can disrupt work, create slippery conditions, and damage materials. When rain is imminent, the whole site bustles like an ant colony. Everyone quickly covers cement and steel and secures machinery. The seamless coordination in these urgent moments reveals a very high level of focus. And when the rain ceases, they quickly get back to work. They do not and meticulously decorated. But for those in the construction industry, beauty and joy also come from the raw materials themselves. from their pristine nature. 5.1. A dialogue with matter. Each type of construction material has its own personality, its own language. A good craftsman is one who can speak with and understand it. Wood is warm, familiar, and has a distinctive scent. A carpenter finds joy in running a hand over a smooth plank, feeling its grain. Grain tells the story of the tree's years, its life. When they saw a log, it's like opening a new world. The process of turning a rough piece of wood into a fine door frame, a staircase, or an intricate truss their joy is in giving wood a second life, bringing the warmth of nature into a living space. Stone. Stone is cold hard and possesses the beauty of eternity. The stoneworker finds joy in conquering its hardness. They use strength and skill to chisel, cut, and polish, transforming a formless boulder into elegant wall cladding or majestic steps. Each hammer strike is a dialogue with the material, an imposition of human will onto matter. When polished, they keep the solidity and permanence in their work. Steel. Steel is resilient, strong, and the skeleton of modern structures. A steelworker doesn't see steel bars as cold metal. They see in them latent power, an extraordinary capacity to bear loads. Their joy comes from bending, cutting, and welding these bars together, creating complex frames that are exactly according to the technical drawings. They know that these skeletons are carrying the entire weight of the structure, providing safety for hundreds or even thousands of people. Concrete. Concrete, as a mix of cement, sand, stone, and water, is pliable and shape. But once it cures, it becomes incredibly strong. The joy of working with concrete is the joy of transformation. The worker pours concrete into formwork molds and waits with anticipation. When the formwork is stripped away, a new, solid, and powerful form emerges, just as intended. That feeling is like a sculptor completing their masterpiece. 5.2. The beauty of honesty. There is a special beauty in the phase when a project is still unfinished, when all its structures and materials are exposed. An unplastered brick wall, with its neat rows of reddish bricks, has a rustic and warm feel. A system of exposed concrete beams and columns, displaying the power of its structure, has a beauty of honesty without concealment. Construction workers get to witness this beauty every day. They see the anatomy of the building, understand how it works, how its parts connect. This joy is like that of a surgeon who knows every organ. Life and durability. They take pride in their neat wells, even knowing they will need work. They are satisfied with a perfectly straight wood, even knowing it will be plastic. Because they know that the finished beauty of the outside is built upon a foundation of silent perfection on the inside. Chapter 6. Safety is joy, building the future on a solid foundation. In the symphony of construction scheme, there is one indispensable note, the foundation, determines all other notes. That note is safety. Many might think of safety as drivers and constraints. In reality, safety is the source of the most sustainable joy. 6.1. Safety is respect. Adhering to safety regulations is not just about protecting oneself. It's an act of respect for one's colleagues, one's family, and the work itself. Respect for colleagues. When a worker wears a hard hat and properly uses a safety harness, they are not only protecting their own life, they are also recognizing a safe work environment is one where everyone can focus completely on their expertise, maximizing their I'm safe, you're safe, camaraderie, true camaraderie. Respect for family. Behind every worker is a family waiting anxiously. Their greatest joy is not the money earned, but seeing their loved one return home healthy and whole after their workday. Following safety protocols is the greatest gift, the most sincere promise a worker can give to their family. The joy here is peace of mind, the serene feeling of knowing you are working responsibly, not causing your loved ones to worry. 6.2. The joy of an incident-free day. At the end of a long day, when the safety manager announces, no incidents on site today, a palpable sense of relief and joy surrounds the workers. This is not a gift, it is the result of the effort, caution, and awareness of the entire team. This joy may not be as explosive as completing a major milestone. The entire party. Everyone can proudly say, we don't just build buildings, we build them safely. 6.3. Innovation. Building safety also comes as scaffolding, trains with smart warning systems, or robots that replace humans in dangerous tasks. All bring joy. It is the joy of seeing the work environment improve, of seeing human life increasingly valued. It shows that the construction industry is not only growing in scale, but also in depth, in its concern for the human element.